Have you thought about moving to Evanston, Wyoming? And you're just wondering like, hey, I'm going to be moving to this place. How am I going to afford to live? Well, in this week's episode, we're going to be talking about the economy, places to work, and the whole area. So stay tuned with me and we'll hop right into it. And before we do, don't forget to hit like and subscribe to the channel so you stay up to date. Everything Evanston, Wyoming. Let's go. Let's talk about growth. So how did Evanston become as big as it is? I mean, 20,000 people don't just show up out of nowhere. So Evanston was originally a kind of a stop for the railroads. And then back in 1869, it was a railroad service hub. So the trains would come in, they would service them here, and it's kind of the main junction in between Green River and Utah. So it was kind of a little service stop for all the trains back then when they were moving cargo. So from 1868 to about 1920, there was a huge boom over the railroads. So that's why downtown Main Street, you'll see tons of houses built in the 1800s up to 1920. So a lot of those houses are built in that period because of the railroad. That was our official boom. And with the railroads also comes other industries like the mining. So up in Wyoming, there was a couple coal mines up there that would utilize the railroads, and that's how Evanston grew as well as Wyoming. At one point in time, Wyoming had 8,000 people in it, which is crazy to think about nowadays because there's maybe 500 people out there. There's like literally no people in Wyoming. That's where the first initial boom came from here in Evanston. And then it kind of sat around for a couple decades. And then the energy sector started popping up. Oil fields, oil refineries we have close by, those started popping up in the 80s. So we have lots of houses built in the 80s that really came about from the oil boom in the 80s. So that's where we kind of grew as a town. It was right there in the 80s. And in the early 1900s, we grew a lot in those time periods. Just because of the job opportunities in the area. That was back then, like the trains and the coal mines, the railroads, that was back then. What is causing people to move here now, you might ask? And there's no like specific data that I can find online about it, but between myself and talking to other agents in the area who talk to people who are moving here, we like to ask why, or what's your attraction to Evanston, Wyoming? What's bringing you here? I know what's bringing me here, but what's bringing you here? And if you live here, throw in the comments what actually brought you to Evanston, Wyoming, because I love to hear these stories of why people are actually here. A bunch of my clients are moving here and still working remotely part-time. We get clients that move here and they're like, my job just doesn't pay enough. And my other job allows me to work from home. And so we see a lot of that. After COVID, we saw a lot of working from home jobs. People are trying to get out there, trying to get away from the bigger cities, get in the hustle and bustle from that. So if their employers allowing them to work remotely, why not move to an area with not a lot of people and just more comfortable, laid-back lifestyle? So we're seeing tons of that. That's the main thing that we're seeing. We're seeing a lot of people come out of Utah, California, Nevada, Colorado. We're seeing lots of people moving up, especially those people who can work from home nowadays. Hey y'all, are you thinking about relocating to Evanston, Wyoming? My team and I have developed the ultimate relocation guide, and it's 100% free. Down in the description, let me know what you think. Have a great day. All right. So let's talk about the jobs that people have right now. The majority of people that have jobs here in Evanston. So right now, they kind of lump together construction and oil and gas. So if you're working heavy machinery in construction, in gas, you're one of these numbers. So about 2,100 people work in construction and gas, which makes up dang near 25% of the total workforce is just oil and gas. And that includes like if you're working at a gas plant, a refinery, actually out on the rigs, any of those, you're in that 25%. Executive and management teams, count for about 1,000 people in our communities, 1,000 people for executive. So hospital services in the state hospital is about another 1,000 people in our economy work for the hospital or the state hospital or in a medical facility. And then about 500 people work in our school district, UNS School District number 1. But if you're looking to move somewhere and you're like, well, they don't really have a job for me, you kind of got to think, well, how can I make up my own job? Because Evanston has tons of small businesses. So a small business is anything less than 50 employees. And right now, Evanston is at 94% small businesses. So 94% of all businesses are small businesses here, which is kind of crazy to think that not everyone's out there working for the man. And then if you just take the businesses that are 10 people or less, 81% of all businesses have less than 10 employees. So if there's a will, there's a way. You got to get out there and hustle and create your own businesses to be able to survive here in Evanston sometimes. But if you're looking for jobs, they are out there. So as far as some of the local bigger employees or employers, first off, we got Smith's Food and Drug, about 200 people. We have Uinta School District number 1. They employ about 500 people. We have Walmart, that's about 250 people they employ. The state hospital and other hospital-related fields is at about 1,000 people. So if you're in the medical field, it's super easy to find a job here. And if you're in the service industry, there's tons of service industry jobs here. So if you're looking for a job or looking to move to Evanston, Wyoming, let me know. I'd love to help you out. Thank you so much for watching, and you guys have a wonderful week.